Well, welcome to everyone here to I&E Fest. Clearly, this is not how we wanted to welcome you back to Duke. We would much rather be hosting a big party at the Bullpen, our space in downtown Durham, to be able to have you interact with our staff and our students directly to learn more about the different programs, clubs, and opportunities that the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Initiative offers here at Duke. Just a few housekeeping items before we get started. You can see on the screen share just a quick agenda. Our intention here this evening is to give you a taste or a flavor of the different opportunities you can plug into. There will be more opportunity to have deep dives with our colleagues who run programming in the near future, so please stay tuned. Down at the bottom of the slide, you can see the link to the I&E Fest webpage, where you can on your own spend a little bit of time watching videos, learning about our programs, in addition to other innovation and entrepreneurship programs that our colleagues in other schools and units run, right? So Duke I&E partners with the different schools and units across campus to foster innovation and entrepreneurship. We have a variety of educational programs, student founder programs to help students who are interested in starting a company or working on a different project or innovation. So we hope that you all take the time to spend a little bit of time and bandwidth getting to know us a little bit more. Also want to mention that this session is being recorded for people who are not able to join us this evening. So just wanted to let everybody understand that. If you don't speak, you will not be featured on camera. It's in speaker view, so everybody understands that. And then last but not least, on our main webpage, there's a link to the Innovation Navigators. That is the best way to get a hold of us and get in touch with our different programming staff. So please feel free to reach out in that way. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Megan Kelly-Daincourt, and Grace Parker and Renee to talk a little bit about our courses and our certificate program. Megan, take it away.
Thanks, Andrea. Welcome, everybody. I'm Megan Kelly-Daincourt. I'm a staff member with I&E. I work on the undergraduate certificate in innovation and entrepreneurship. I work on our summer study away program, Duke in Silicon Valley. I'm an instructor for I&E 290 Innovation, Product, and Design, and I work with the I&E Fellows, who you'll hear from in a moment. I'll put my scheduling link in the chat if you want to discuss any of that at a later time. The I&E Fellows are going to take over from here. They're all current I&E seniors and have participated in many of our programs. I know that it's incredibly important to hear from the student perspective, so I want to make sure to center their voices. They'll be highlighting some of our courses and the certificate program. All of our courses are incredibly interdisciplinary, pulling from across the whole university, from theater to public policy to engineering and more. And the certificate truly complements any major. There are about 30 majors from across Trinity and Pratt represented in the certificate program, and our class topics include social innovation, equity-centered design, and technology commercialization, just to name a few. All of our courses highlight creativity, critical thinking, and teamwork, among other things. Now, I'll hand it off to the I&E Fellows to tell you more about our courses and programs.
Hey everyone, my name is Parker Swanson. I'm a part of the I&E Fellows with Renee and Grace. As an I&E Fellow, we work with the I&E initiative in a multitude of different projects and also serve as the I&E student ambassadors for the certificate and beyond. We are currently hiring 2 more students for this year, so if anyone's interested in learning more about that, please reach out to any of us. Originally, I first got into I&E by having my own venture and wanting to learn more from there, and that's how I eventually joined the Fellows program as well. Renee and Grace, go ahead.
Hi guys, I'm Renee. I'm also a senior and I'm studying linguistics along with a Spanish minor and getting the I&E certificate. And along with my role within the Fellows program, I'm also the president of a startup on campus called Bull City Beds and a member of Business-Oriented Women in Delta Sigma Pi, which is Duke's professional business fraternity. And I also did the Duke in Silicon Valley summer program. If any of you want to learn more about that, please reach out to me and feel free to email me with any other questions or if you just want to chat.
Hi everyone, I'm Grace. I'm a senior from San Diego, majoring in Intelligent Systems Engineering, which is a Pratt degree that I created myself. I'm also pursuing a computer science minor and I'm in the certificate. And of INE-related organizations on campus, I'm involved with business-oriented women, which Renee is also a part of.
I think we can.
And then, yes, next slide. Awesome. So with INE, there are a huge range of classes that are available to any Duke student. We're going to be highlighting just a few of them, but all of them offer a unique and hands-on experience. There's a few of them listed below under more classes, but that is not an exhaustive list. So the first class I'm going to talk about is called Strategies for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. That course is basically a crash course in business school. You do a ton of case studies on various products and companies. You're looking at product market fit, customer segmentation, elements of marketing. You're also learning the basics of business finance. So how to read a financial statement and project out a discounted cash flow and analyze profitability. So the basics of real world entrepreneurship, and it doesn't assume any prior business knowledge. So I didn't know what even a discounted cash flow was, but I learned that through that class, which was extremely beneficial, and by far one of my favorite classes I've taken in my Duke career. Another one of my favorite classes I've taken is called Engineering Innovation. It's extremely hands-on, totally project-based. Throughout the semester, you're working on teams on a wide variety of design challenges. The professor, Rebecca Simmons, is extremely personable and is now a close mentor of mine as well. She would give us a very ambiguous design challenge, something like design a contraption that can transport something from point A to point B without touching the ground, or another one of our assignments was to design a new McDonald's toy and a go-to-market strategy with it. And then we were actually building the product and developing the strategy for that. So they give you the supporting resources and then you just go with your team to work. So super fun. And I not only strengthened my technical skills through that course, but also became a stronger leader and a better communicator.
And I'm going to highlight one of my favorite electives thus far, which was Customer Empathy and Brand Design, or Brand Experience, with Brad Brinegar. And Brad is a former CEO of an ad agency in Durham. And during the class, we looked at several cases of direct-to-consumer brands, such as Glossier, Casper, and Hubble Contacts, to name a few, in order to understand how they connect with consumers. During the class, I really loved the way Brad was able to tie in his own experiences and bring in guest speakers for us to understand branding at an in-depth level. And we also got to tour the ad agency, which was pretty cool at the end. Another class I'm taking right now is Media, Entertainment, and Tech with Jed Simmons. And so far, it's been really cool to hear from companies dominating these spaces, such as YouTube and Roku this past Tuesday.
Next slide, please. All right, so just start off real quick. Let's look at the requirements for the certificate program. So the requirements for the program is a total of 4 courses. There's the Keystone and the Capstone, as well as 2 electives of your choosing. Along with that, the certificate also emphasizes learning outside the classroom, requiring students to have some sort of experience either over the summer or of the school year that relates to the certificate in some type of way. Also, amazing part of the INE certificate is you can select many different pathways based on what your own interests are. You start your INE journey by selecting one of 5 pathways. There are dozens of INE classes available to students and even more disciplines in which your learning perspectives from these classes may apply. These pathways help hone in on a specific set of topics for your own electives. Personally, I'm aspiring to do the social innovation and policy pathway because I'm a public policy major, and that's what I'm interested in, but by no means does that mean I'm stuck to a specific set of courses. And Renee and Grace, if you guys want to share.
Sure. So as Parker mentioned, there's a number of different pathways, and these pathways are not meant to be restrictive. They're really to help guide you in making INE an experience that you can showcase to employers and beyond. For me, I've chosen to do a self-designed pathway. So I've taken courses from a variety of different disciplines in INE and made that my own story. And as far as the experiences, that's one of the really unique parts about being in the INE certificate. Most certificates are just courses, but for the INE certificate, you take 4 courses as well as 2 experiences. One is a longer experience, 300 hours, another is 150 hours. And you also complete an e-portfolio, which is another way to help showcase your Duke experience and what you've learned in INE in order to craft your story.
So for me, similar to Renee, I have done the self-design pathway. With my background in engineering, I was probably looking for something that would combine the technology and design pathway with the culture, community, and commerce pathway. So that's why I decided to do the self-design course. In general, I chose the certificate because of how it complements my technical training. So through my major, I'm learning the hard technical skills and the details of specific technologies. But then with my learnings in the certificate, I get to hone my creative and strategic skills that I can use to better understand how to apply and develop technology that's going to have the greatest impact. So they definitely complement each other very well.
Yeah. Thank you guys all for listening. I'm excited to hopefully see you as we continue the school year. And please reach out to us if you have any questions at all. We're here to help. So thanks.
All right, I think I am next. So hi everyone, my name is Howie Ree, and I'm going to talk to you about the Student Founder Program. I'm the Managing Director here for Student Programs, and I've been at Duke since 2007, and I'm an entrepreneur myself. So the way I like to start is to give you, the students, some endpoints for you to start to see possibility in what it is you might want to become. And so if you're thinking about starting a company at some point, the Student Founder could be an amazing program for you. So some endpoints include Suhani Jalota. She's an example of a student that was in our program. While in our program, she started the Meena Mahila Foundation and became the 2016 College Woman of the Year. She helps to destigmatize menstruation in women in slums in Mumbai. And she has just been a great champion for that cause. The next person I want to mention is Uzoma Iyogu. This is one of our students who graduated in 2017. He co-founded a company called Relief, which helps Nigerian farmers turn their farm output into very valuable vegetable oil. He also went through Y Combinator, which is the top accelerator in the world. Next up, I want to mention Max Stern. So Max just graduated in 2019. He founded a company called Closure because a friend of his at Duke passed away, unfortunately, and they started to get really terrible emails from spammers that had taken over his friend's account. So he has helped about 100,000 families close the social media and Gmail accounts of their deceased loved ones. Next up is Josh Miller, class of 2016. As a student, Josh raised $100,000. He founded Farm Shots, which this is a screenshot of. What it can do is it helps farmers determine which crops are successful using geosatellite data. He sold this company to Syngenta in 2018. Just a few more examples here. Here's James Wu. James graduated in 2018. He's the co-founder of Adaptalab in Seattle. He uses machine learning to help employers figure out which candidates who say they're good at machine learning actually are good at machine learning. Within about a year after he graduated, he joined Techstars Seattle, another top accelerator, and raised $2 million while in the program. Mackenzie Drazen. Mackenzie graduated a few years ago. She co-founded My Resource, which helps students at universities connect with therapists and mental health providers. And currently they serve about 19 universities and have coverage of 100,000 students. Casper Kubisa. Casper raised $125,000 when he and his business partner, David, realized that sweaty hands were a problem that they had, and they wanted to figure out how to solve that. They've since raised $7.3 million, and they're available in CVS and Targets across the country. And then Sam Fox. So Sam is a recent graduate 2018. Sam is a biomedical engineer. He founded Seneca Devices and raised about $100,000 as a student. And his device, which you can see a prototype of there, it inflates and helps to turn patients. And you can imagine how that could be helpful, especially during COVID times when you may not want to have much contact with patients. And last but not least is Ivana Dumanian, who's pictured here on the left. She co-founded Fathom with her business partner, Gabby, and they've raised $3 million to help people recover better from their workouts. So those are examples of endpoints for the kinds of things that you might be interested if you're part of the Student Founder Program. The Student Founder Program operates on the idea that the students in the program are dual identity students, much as student athletes have a dual identity. So student athletes work about 20 hours a week in addition to academics on their athletics. And in the same way, student founders in our program are expected to be working a lot on getting ready to found a company. We do host weekly practice sessions. This is the way that you would participate in the program. And the mantra for the program is to focus on unleashing your creative potential and to turn sparks into transformative products and services. So we're really focused on creativity. And one of the endpoints for undergrads is that you can get into the Melissa and Doug Entrepreneurs Program, which is where we kind of curate the students that are most on the path towards starting a company. And we give $5,000 in the stipend and provide financial support beyond that. The goal for that program is to create a product that people are clamoring to purchase. And here you see a photo of one of our trips up to Melissa and Doug, the company headquarters. And this is a photo from our final event where we have Duke alumni come and offer to invest into the companies that the students have created. Over the last few years, we've had a couple $100,000 raised at these events. So registration for the program is still open. It ends this weekend. And if you're interested, go ahead and go to bit.ly Student Founder 2020, and there's a listing of the people that are running the program, including myself. We have two students here, Olivia Coletta and Dan Hepworth, and I'm gonna let them go ahead and say a little bit about their experience. Olivia, here's the WHOA screenshot. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hi everyone, I'm Olivia Coletta. I am a senior here at Duke now, majoring in International Comparative Studies, and I also am doing the Innovation Entrepreneurship Certificate. I joined the Student Founders Program last fall. I came into the program just having an interest in entrepreneurship, but no ideas of what I wanted to work on. And the Student Founders Program really gave me the framework to come up with problems or identify problems that I was interested in solving, and then the framework to create a solution to that problem. So I had run a couple of marathons and was really dissatisfied with the different training plans I had used in the past. They tended to be not very personalized, and they didn't address all of the things that affect your training, like nutrition and sleep and mental strength. And so I wanted to solve the problem of how do you optimize your training and not, have it be a burden on your life. So what are some lifestyle tweaks you can make? So through the program, I created WHOA, which is a personalized and holistic running training program. I conducted customer discovery interviews and built an initial prototype, and then was given the opportunity to be in the summer Accelerator and Melissa and Doug, where this summer I have been outlining an app version of this. So I highly recommend the Student Founders Program to anyone that is interested in entrepreneurship and wants to come up with their own ideas, or also anyone that has an idea and needs some help getting it off the ground. I will put my email in the chat, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and happy to connect over email or over a call.
Thank you, Olivia. And Dan, are you on the call to talk about student side a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Dan, everybody. I'm a junior at Duke, majoring in computer science, minoring in finance. I'm from New York. And the Student Founders Program has been probably one of the most influential experiences at Duke for me. I started that spring of 2020, so this past spring semester. I came into it with one company, and I'm currently working on 3 companies. So the first company I started in high school was a tutoring company. It's called the Massapequa Tutor. It's peer tutoring. So started that with just myself tutoring. Currently have a team of 30 tutors and 300 clients. A couple months ago, I started this company, Student Side, which helps high school students connect with college students at their dream schools to learn more about life on campus. And I'm in the process of launching a third company called Mystery Meals to help people explore new restaurants in their area with the assistance of machine learning. And pretty much this summer, I had really what I would define as the summer of my life. I was in the Melissa and Doug program and the Accelerator, and they were both very great experiences to have a really amazing community of people, both students who are also entrepreneurs. It can be very lonely as a founder, as well as all the resources of all those amazing Duke alum that Howie listed earlier. One really cool experience was when we all were able to hop on a Zoom call with Melissa Bernstein from the Melissa and Doug company, and it was great to learn about her philosophy on entrepreneurship. As you're probably thinking, like, you know, why the heck is someone with a toy company supporting this entrepreneurship company, this entrepreneurship program? But really, Melissa and Doug, they have a really good outlook on product, since they've built and shipped thousands of successful toys that are multi-million-dollar sellers. So they have a good philosophy on creating amazing products. So I found that philosophy to be really integral to starting a company, because the product is really critical. So yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions and connect over email afterwards.
Thank you, Dan. And I'm going to turn off the spotlight video and hand the screen share back to William.
Hey gang, Matt Nash here. Going to talk to you a little bit about our focus on social innovation and entrepreneurship. I am the Managing Director for Social Innovation and Entrepreneurship. I'm also an adjunct professor of the practice over at the Sanford School, where I'm a senior fellow at the Duke Center for International Development, and on the extended team of CASE, the Center for the Advancement of Social Entrepreneurship over at Fuqua. So we have a pretty bold vision for social innovation at Duke. We want Duke to be a global leader in promoting innovative, sustainable solutions to the world's most pressing problems. And in particular, through our work with students, we want to prepare students for a lifetime of innovation and leadership in the public good. So we have a variety of different opportunities. You've heard a little bit about the certificate program and courses. We have our own courses, and we also help faculty elsewhere around the university develop courses and curricular modules for social innovation and entrepreneurship. There are also some programs we manage through our co-curricular programming, such as our summer program in Detroit, which is a collaboration with Duke Engage. Every summer we take students to work with some amazing social enterprises working on economic development. And if you haven't been familiar with Detroit, it's an amazing place to look at issues of economic development and social change. We bring in a number of speakers and events. We collaborate with others to present programs as well. We also collaborate with a number of clubs on campus. You see 3 of them here that are some of the most prominent. Net Impact is a global network of students that want to use their skills for social, environmental, as well as economic impact. We've got chapters for undergrads, Fuqua students, Sanford grad students, and Nicholas grad students as well. The Duke Impact Investing Group, or the DIG, you see, this is a group that started a couple years ago. Students who are interested in exploring kind of financial investments that have a social or environmental as well as a financial return. That's a growing industry. It's estimated to be about $500 billion asset class these days. And these students not only engage in due diligence and working with impact investors, they also convinced our board of trustees to give them $100,000 to create an impact investing fund. So they're selecting and investing in various impact investments. And one other one that we work with is Design for America. These are students who are interested in using human-centered design to develop innovative solutions to challenges here on campuses and in the community. Now, we are looking for some new leadership for Design for America. Some of the previous leaders have graduated. So it's an amazing global network that has chapters on 40 campuses and a national conference and lots of support and stuff. So another great opportunity. Next slide, please, William. We also have a variety of things that we do to help students and alumni and practitioners design, develop, and scale social innovation. So workshops and coaching, we collaborate with the Student Founders Program and others around Duke to do workshops and coaching. There are a number of great competitions and conferences. 2 examples, the Fowler Global Social Innovation Challenge is a global $20,000 prize where we compete first at Duke studying a problem and then proposing a solution. Our winners go on. We had a winner globally this year, $20,000 for biomilk. Michelle Egger over at Fuqua, which is a synthetic breast milk, fascinating for women who can't produce their own or don't have sufficient breast milk. Or the HALT Prize is a $1 million global challenge that President Clinton works with the HALT Prize Foundation to announce a challenge every year. It might be on renewable energy, or refugees, or underemployed youth. That gets announced in the end of September. We do a round here at Duke. We pick our top teams. One team automatically advances and others maybe wild card picks. And we've made the top 15. We've never won the million. Maybe you have the idea for the $1 million prize here tonight. Or one other I'll mention is the Clinton Global Initiative University Program. This is where you propose an idea and make a commitment to make a difference. And if you're selected, you go to a global conference and get coaching. You might win some prize money as well. You might even present your idea on the main stage. And last thing I'll mention before I'll introduce a student are an exciting new partnership we have with Unicef called the Duke Unicef Innovation Accelerator. And we're partnering with Unicef to look around the world for successful innovations for children in developing countries, and then to work with them to scale their impact. So to help them build their business models, refine their programmatic models, access the capital and talent they need to make an amazing impact. And so this year, we're focusing in East Africa. We're looking at innovations in menstrual health and hygiene, and we've selected an amazing cohort of technologies and services and products to really help scale the impact. It's a great opportunity if you're interested to involve in some research or some projects. If you're a PubPol student, we also just got some money for a research assistant. So we also have a student advisory committee that helps us think about how to access this. So in the end of October, early September, we'll have some speakers and events, including Sahani Jalota, you heard from Howie about, is going to be giving a talk one night that week. So let me turn it over to a student who's been participating in some of these programs to tell you a little bit more about what she's done. So with that, let me turn it over to Maggie Pan. Maggie, are you with us?
Yeah, thank you, Matt. So I'm Maggie. I'm a junior majoring in math, and I'm doing an IDM in psychology and visual arts as well. So I'm going to be mainly talking about Duke Engage Detroit and the Holt Prize Challenge. So for Duke Engage, it was definitely one of the most transformative and inspiring experiences. And I think I could break it down to three main reasons: the people I met, the work I did, and then Detroit, the city itself. So I got to meet and live with the best people. So Matt and Catherine are awesome, of course. And our cohort, which was 12 people, got really close. We biked a ton, cooked together, and celebrate each other's birthdays together. And we also still keep in touch, which is really great. Secondly, the work I was doing also changed the way that I thought about the world, and it made me realize how much I value transformative work. So I worked with an environmental nonprofit called Next Energy in their smart mobility initiatives. And I remember loving going to work because I had a great supervisor, I was able to learn a lot, and I was also with friends doing the work. So I also saw firsthand how all the projects that we did really affected people in the city. So we saw a lot of tangible results. So, and this was seen everywhere. So on the streets with the Mogo bikes, and in the farmers market with the granola bars that students had made in Detroit Food Academy. And then lastly, Detroit itself is really unlike any other city I've been in. And I think that's because of the strong sense of community and loyalty that people have for each other and for the city. And it's really great to be part of this transformative time for Detroit. So I was only there for 2 months, but I can definitely say that for me and for probably everybody else that has been in Detroit and done the program, that it's a city that's very close to our hearts. So coming back to campus from this experience made me really want to do something that involves impact and social innovation. And that led me to the Holt Prize Challenge. So I worked with a team of 3 other students, and we came up with a solution for sustainable rice farming. And then we presented it and competed at various stages up to the regionals level. And because this program really requires you to build a startup around a product that you make, I was able to learn a lot about a very specific problem space and learn various skills in a short amount of time. And this experience really led me to develop this interest in human-centered product design, which I am now looking to pursue as a career and incorporate in all the problem solving and things I do on a daily basis. And just for time purposes, I want to just mention that I am also part of Hack Duke, which also has a social innovation initiative to it. So if you are interested in that, you can chat me or bring it up during Q&A. So yeah, that's all.
Thanks so much, gang.
Hey, I think it's our time. Hi, everybody. Good evening. I hope everyone is doing well. My name is Amy Unell. joined by a couple superstars of Studio Duke, Quentin and Thalia. You guys want to raise your hands, give a shout, wave, something like that?
What's up, everybody?
All right. So you're going to meet these incredible students in 2 seconds. I run Studio Duke. And as you could see, it is a very cool program from this beautiful slide. Studio Duke is a 2-semester creative lab and mentorship program that provides students, the opportunity to take your projects, creative projects, which you're going to hear about in a minute from our students, to the next level. We like to say the next level of awesome. So our bar is really high. And the application is open as we speak. The deadline is September 9th. But without further ado, I want to kick it to these amazing students. Quentin, Thalia, if you could tell us just a little bit about who you are and your project. Let's start with that, and then we'll go from there.
Cool.
And
Everybody.
maybe, William, if you don't, can we see them when they talk, and maybe we could take the slide down a minute, if possible. Yeah, there he is.
Nice. All right. I think, should it come over to me now? Yeah, I think so. But hey, everybody. Like Amy said, my name is Quentin. I'm actually washed up. I graduated from Duke this past spring. During my time at Duke, I majored in political science with a certificate in the arts of the moving image. And I just moved to LA 2 weeks ago to pursue a career in the film industry. For my Studio Duke project, I was paired with my mentor, Kevin Plunkett, who is an executive producer at Jigsaw Productions and has been in the TV industry for over 2 decades since he graduated from Duke. My project was a feature-length screenplay called Blood on the Saddle, which is about the daughter of a former minor league baseball star who frames her father for a double murder after a sports bet goes terribly wrong. And I really cannot speak highly enough of my Studio Duke experience. Not only was I able to develop a screenplay with a producer and learn what Hollywood executives are looking for in a script and how to tell a story the best way, but I was also connected with tons of amazing professional resources through Kevin. Like I said, I just moved to LA 2 weeks ago in the middle of a global pandemic, and within 24 hours from telling Kevin that I had touched down in the city, he had already connected me with people that I have an interview for a job tomorrow. So it's really incredible, and I encourage all of you guys to apply. Talia, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, sure. Can everyone hear me okay? So I'm Thalia. I am currently a junior, and I wrote a short story collection for my Studio Duke project.
Hey, Thalia, how do we see you? I mean,
oh, is it not showing me?
I mean, I keep seeing, well, I see.
Now I see you.
There you are. Okay, cool. Sorry.
I see me now. Anyways, I wrote a short story collection for my Studio Duke project called In Loco Parentis and Other Stories, and it focused largely around the complex and heightened relationships between parents and children. And I was partnered with the mentor Maria Kuznetsova, who's a Duke alum and a published novelist. And doing the program was really amazing, not just for helping me improve my project and develop it further, but also for letting me see Maria's path to becoming a novelist and learning more about kind of the day-to-day opportunities in her writing life and what that looks like. And also I feel like I learned a lot from seeing my fellow Studio Duke peers developing their projects, sharing what they were working on and what they were learning from their mentors, and a number of really cool visitors we had come too who really opened my eyes to more of the kind of business side of the creative industries.
Great. Thanks for sharing. I mean, your projects are incredible. And I wanted to kind of touch on, you mentioned the cohort. And I think that's a really important part of Studio Duke is that students have projects all over, different media. And, you two are 2 examples. But can you talk about a little bit about also kind of why you'd recommend the program, just getting to learn more about maybe the processes of these other creative projects and maybe what you took away from that?
Yeah, totally. I mean, this past year, we had an incredible range of different projects in our cohort, from people conducting their own symphony orchestra pieces and short stories and music and all these different things. And everybody was really supportive of each other's projects and wanted to help each other try to find ways to get into the best creative zone. And something that a cohort member did for me is that whenever I sit down to write a new script or I'm writing a script, I like to put a playlist together with songs that help me get in the mood of whatever genre that I'm writing. And me and one of my fellow cohort members actually started a Spotify playlist together where we would just shoot music in there that applied to both of our projects. And we would talk through it. For the entire cohort, we put together a list of books to read, films to watch, documentaries to take a look at, television shows, anything that we thought everybody could glean something off of and to improve their projects.
Thanks, y'all. And, another, we talked about some of the shifts that were, oof, my face, about some of the shifts we're doing, to go virtual. And so Studio Duke will be virtual this semester. And I wonder if you both can talk about kind of, we do these kind of mentor meals, we call them, and you kind of referred to some of our speakers. Maybe you could touch on kind of, our last kind of mentor meal where, also you get the opportunity to present your projects and get feedback on them. And Paula Shangnan, who's the head of Turner Classic Movies, joined us for our last one over the spring. And maybe kind of what that brought as well as students thinking about applying and kind of in how the virtual mode worked for you guys.
For me, the switch when spring kind of shut down didn't present any huge challenges for continuing on with Studio Duke. My mentor was in a different state than me originally anyways, and so we'd already been meeting virtually, and I still felt like I got a lot out of that. And then we were still able to kind of communicate, the rest of us, with one another, and having speakers talk was super helpful to see not just different career paths and ways that industries work, but also learning more insider information about maybe certain legal aspects of creative work that wouldn't cross your mind, but really should, and other things like that along the way.
Yeah, and Paula in particular was somebody that was a really helpful experience for me because she talked about how she went to film school, which is something that I just actually applied for to start in January at USC, and what her experience with that was like and how it ended up leading to her finding her passion at TCM. So actually after the call, I reached out to her, and her and I ended up having a 2-hour phone call the week after, just talking through her experiences in the film industry and with film school and how she got from one place to another. And just, again, the call almost always ends with, however I can be helpful, let me know in the future. And I really think that the great thing about Studio Duke is that from the top to the bottom, whether it's Amy, the cohort members, or our guest speakers, everybody's really looking out for each other and supporting each other's projects and trying to be as helpful as possible. And
just in closing, one of the, I think each of you kind of experienced this in different ways. And Studio Duke, if you're thinking about applying, the key is to have a project that's already underway, that's ongoing. Doesn't need to be completed yet, but it needs to be in process. And each of you maybe can just touch on briefly before we go to questions, just a little bit about how, I know Quentin, for instance, you were doing an independent study, but you don't necessarily need to be doing that academic component during Studio Duke, but there are some benefits. Can you touch on that before we wrap up?
Yeah, totally. Just to kind of go through it quickly, I began writing the script in my AMI capstone course. I was about 60 pages through what ended up being an 110-page script, and I actually reached out to Amy and asked if that would be okay to apply with that. She said yeah, and I applied to it and put a lot of research into who the different mentors were, and talked a lot about myself and why I felt like I was the best person to be telling this story. And just one other quick thing to add with that, I actually also applied to Studio Duke my junior year with a completed feature-length screenplay that was already over 100 pages long, and I was not accepted to the program. So really, it's not about how big of a project you have done. It's about the care that you put into the preparation and how much time you put into what you do have. But if you do not get into the program, don't be discouraged, and always apply the next year.
Yeah, so I didn't have an independent study or anything to work on my project. I had each of the stories that I put into the collection had been working on kind of independently for the most part, a few of them through a creative writing class the previous semester. But I had all of them together. I kind of had this idea in my head of where I wanted to take them, but I also knew that each story was not complete yet. They were all written, but they were pretty rough first drafts. And so by putting them all together and working with my mentor once I got into Studio Duke, I was able to kind of better clarify what united the stories and how to edit them in such a manner that I could really bring out the central message of the work. And so, yeah, it's really a lot what you put into it, what you ask of your mentor, and they will do a lot for you and help you out in whatever way they can.
Great. Thanks, y'all. That was, I hope, helpful to everybody, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to share about your experiences with the program. All right, seems like it's Q&A time.
Great. Thanks, everybody. As I'm sure you all have been following along, we've had a lot of great questions that have been popping up in the chat feature. One thing I want to bubble to the surface that just popped up here was a question about experiential activities for the undergraduate certificate program. Megan and the rest of the students, could you speak to a little bit more about the experiences and if they need to come from for-credit independent studies?
Yeah, I just took a moment to answer that question. The experience component is really flexible. You apply for your experience, or not apply, but you fill out a form just for Megan and the team in order to be able to help guide you and make sure that it has some sort of entrepreneurial or innovative angle. But they can really range from a wide variety of experiences, whether that's on campus, an internship, a competition, something that just has to have some sort of innovative and entrepreneurial angle. So for example, I am using my experience at Bull City Beds over the course of the past 4 years, as well as my experience at Duke Engage Guatemala as my 2 experiences. I don't know if anyone else wants to add.
Oh, you did a great job.
The next question is related about the INE certificate application process.
Sure, I can talk about that a little. So the first thing I want to say about the certificate application is that it is in no way meant to be scary, right? You already did the hard work of getting into Duke, and we are not here to put a lot of pressure on you, right? We use the certificate application not so much to determine if you are a good fit for our program, but if our program is a good fit for you, right? So if you are going to give us your time and energy, we want to make sure that you're going to get out of the program what you think you will. And so we really use the certificate to assess your intent, your interest, what are the types of courses and experiences you want to do, but it's very flexible. You can apply starting in the spring of your first year. The application is online. You can actually view it and start at any time you want. But the first time that you're eligible to apply is spring of your first year, and then you have until September of your junior year to join the program. So that part is very flexible as well. And you know, there's nothing top secret about it. If you ever look at it and you have any questions, you can email me. I put my scheduling link in the chat. If you want to schedule a meeting with me after taking a look at the certificate, I'm happy to do that as well.
Great, thank you. And I know we also had some questions previously about the application process for the Student Founders Program. So can anybody from the Student Founders team please speak to how that kind of process works, what the cadence is? How could students perhaps test out the program if they're not sure if it's the right space for them?
I could take that. Although Catherine, I see you moving, so maybe you're moving to unmute. But yeah, it's a pretty simple process. It's really more of a registration than an application. We have sessions all throughout the week that are basically the same as class sessions. So basically we adopted the schedule so that they could fit into students' class sessions. So Monday at 10:15, and Monday at, I forget what the next one is, 1:30, Monday at 3:30. And so if you are interested, and if you feel like you've got the bandwidth to commit to being a part of the Student Founder Program, all you gotta do is fill out the registration form and we will start to match you. Okay,
and I wanted to add one question that I just saw Thomas wrote, specifically for nonprofit organizations. 2 of the Student Founder sessions, actually 3 of them, are going to be focused on social innovation. So we have Matt leading one and a couple of other people leading social innovation focused sessions each week. And so if you're interested in learning more about that space, that would be a good opportunity. And then otherwise you'll learn about it, but it won't be as deeply ingrained as the social innovation sessions that are within Student Founder. And all that's on the intake application form or the intake registration form that Howie just mentioned.
As I said at the beginning of the call, all the information about our programs, videos that you can watch, links out to more detailed information are found on the Duke INE Fest webpage. We also encourage everyone to sign up for newsletters so you can receive the right information at the right time. There are undergraduate focused newsletters, there are social innovation focused newsletters, and that can all be found at entrepreneurship.duke.edu/contact. And I'll stick that here in the chat feature here in a moment. You can also reach out directly through the Innovation Navigators program and the Get Connected button on our homepage, and that'll allow you to say, hey, I'd like to learn more information about the certificate or the Student Founders Program, and it'll connect you with the right staff member automatically. So we try to make it really easy and straightforward for questions to be answered and for you to get connected and plugged in.
I saw a question from Jennifer. Do you have to have a particular business idea? And the answer is no. Thanks, Catherine, for answering that. We just want students that feel like they think they might want to become a founder. And if that is you, then we're gonna kind of explore together what ideas you might have and help you develop those ideas, develop your creativity around that, and just get ready to being a founder.
Any other questions that we can help you answer? We appreciate you coming out this evening and spending some time with us. We know that, again, this is not the most ideal way to start your college experience over a Zoom call, but we look at this as doing the best we can under the circumstances, and we really look forward to a time that we can welcome you into the bullpen and be able to spend some real time with you face to face.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. And I think Matt and I are going to be hosting info sessions. So we've posted those below. See you all later.
Great. Thanks, everyone.